Hello friends, this is Mr. Akash Vasanesarkar, lecturer, Department of Chemistry, KLS Gokte PU College of Commerce and Science, Belgaum. Students, in our last video, we have studied defect, and the remaining part of a defect we are going to study in today's session. So let us start without wasting a time. So non-stoichiometric defect. The non-stoichiometric defect are of two types. The first one is a metal excess defect and the second one is a metal deficiency defect. So let us study one by one. Metal excess defect. If you focus on the name, that is metal excess defect, you will come to know the meaning actually. The defect arises due to the excess of metal is called metal excess defect. But how this metal excess defect arises? It is arises by two ways. The first one is by anionic vacancies. So how the anionic vacancies will take place in a crystal structure. So let us try to understand with this beautiful example. So we are having the sodium chloride crystal. Initially, the crystals are in neutral. Initially, the crystals are in neutral state. So this is a sodium chloride crystal where the blue spheres is of chloride ions and the saffron sphere is of sodium plus ion. When the anion is missing from the crystal, when the anion, that is chloride ion, is missing from the crystal, it creates the anionic vacancy, or it is also called as a hole. It creates the anion vacancy, or it is also called as a hole. So due to this anionic vacancy, the number of sodium plus 2, that is metal sodium plus 1, that is increases, and the number of metals get increases. Therefore it is called as a metal excess defect due to the anionic vacancy. The another important thing is what, when this particular anionic vacancy, it is occupied by an unpaired of electron, then it is called as a F center, or it is also called as a Farben center. That is a German word which stands for color center. You might be knowing that many of the crystals are color in nature. This color property is due to the F center. So what is that F center? When a particular anionic vacancy, it is occupied by an unpaired of electron, then that is called as a F center or Farben center. For example, sodium chloride, it is yellow in color, lithium chloride, it is pink in color, and potassium chloride, potassium chloride, that is violet in color. So why we are placing the unpaired of electron in an anionic vacancy? The reason behind this is the crystals are neutral in state. When the anion is missing from the crystal structure, the neutrality gets disturbed. So in order to maintain that neutrality, we are placing the unpaired of electron into that anionic vacancy. So this process is also called as a Farben center. The metal excess defect can also be arises due to the presence of extra cation. A compound is said to have an extra cation if a cation is present in the interstitial site. An electron is present in the interstitial site to maintain the electrical neutrality. So this is very simple to understand. If you are having the crystal structure, or if you are having the crystals is in that crystal structure, if you add the extra cation, then it goes to the interstitial site. By addition of extra cation to the crystal, it disturbs the electrical neutrality. And therefore, in order to maintain that electrical neutrality, we have to add the unpaired of electron also. So that unpaired electron also goes to the interstitial site. And due to this, the number of the cations increases, that is nothing but metals increases, and therefore the presence of cations cause the metal excess defect. For an example, zinc oxide, which is white in color, this zinc oxide crystal which is white in color, upon heating it loses the oxygen and turns yellow, and it also liberates zinc plus 2 and 2 electron minus. Now this zinc plus 2 cation goes to the interstitial site of the zinc oxide crystal, and by adding this zinc plus 2 into this zinc oxide crystal, it disturbs the neutrality of zinc oxide. So to maintain that neutrality, the two unpaired electron also goes to the interstitial site, and by adding these two electrons, the electrical neutrality of zinc oxide gets balanced. The second defect is metal deficiency defect. This defect arises because of absence of metal ions from its lattice site. So when the metal ions are absent from its lattice site, the metal deficiency will take place. The electrical neutrality is maintained by adjacent ion having a higher positive charge, and the electrical neutrality of this defect can be maintained by adding the highest positive charge of the same ion. Now, the importance of the metal excess defect are: the first one, crystals with the metal excess defect are conducting due to the presence of free electron. Hence, they act as a n-type semiconductor. We know that conducting power is caused by the presence of free electron. So in metal excess defect, we are having the free electron in the anionic vacant place, and due to that it will conduct the electricity. The second one, crystal with the metal excess defect are paramagnetic. If the crystals are having the unpaired of electron, then that crystal is a paramagnetic. The third one, crystals with the metal excess defect are generally colored because the electron is occupied in the anionic vacancy, that is called as the F center or Farabian center, and due to that the crystal shows the color property. Okay, next, impurity defect. This defect arises in a solids when foreign atoms or ions are present at the lattice site of a host atoms or ions, or at the vacant site. Let us try to understand this. When we are having a sodium chloride crystal, so when we are adding the strontium chloride, that is a foreign atom, Sr plus 2. So this is a particular sodium chloride crystal. So in this sodium chloride crystal, when we are adding the foreign atom, that is strontium plus 2, so this strontium plus 2 will replace the two sodium ions. Why it is replacing two sodium ions? Because we know that crystals are in neutral state, so we have to maintain the electrical neutrality. So when we are adding the strontium plus 2, the charge is plus 2, so that time we have to replace the plus 2 charge from the sodium chloride crystal, and therefore we are replacing two sodium ions, one sodium ion from here and the another sodium ion from here, and this strontium plus 2 is replacing one sodium ion. That sodium ion were the host atom, and this is called as a foreign atom, and due to this the defect arises, and this defect is called impurity defect because we are adding the foreign atom, that is impurity, to the sodium chloride crystal. Now, solids can also be classified into three types based on their electrical conductivities. The first one is conductors. The solids with the conductivities ranging between 10 raised to 4 to 10 raised to 7 per ohm meter are called conductors. Insulators, these are the solids with low conductivity ranging between 10 raised to minus 20 to 10 raised to minus 10 per ohm meter. And the semiconductors, these are the solids with the conductivities in the intermediate range from 10 raised to minus 6 to 10 raised to 4 per ohm meter. So, in order to understand the conductivity power of conductor, semiconductor and insulator, we have to understand the band theory. A particular band theory will tell you the exact meaning of conductivity in conductors, semiconductors and insulator. So in band theory, we are having the highest field band is called as a valence band, and the lowest unoccupied band is called conduction band. So in case of conductor, the valence band and the conduction band are far close to one another. Or you can say that conduction band and the valence bands are overlapping to each other. So this valence band in case of conductor is partially filled with the electrons. So we can shift this electron or electron can easily move to the conduction band, and this easy movement of the electron to the conduction band will cause the electrical conductivity, and therefore in case of conductors the electrons which are present in the valence band can easily shift to the conduction band, and therefore it can conduct the electricity very easily. Whereas in case of semiconductors, the valence band is completely filled with the electrons and the conduction band is empty. Initially it is empty, and these two bands are separated by a small gap which is called as a band gap, or it is also called as a forbidden band. And due to this gap, we cannot shift the electron easily from the valence band to the conduction band, so little amount of energy is required. But at a room temperature, some of the electrons can shift to the conduction band and it conduct the electricity at a low value, and therefore the semiconductors will conduct the electricity very less. Third one, that is insulator. In case of insulator, the valence band is completely filled with electrons and the conduction band is empty. But these two bands are far away from each other. That is called as a band gap. In order to shift the electron from the valence band to the conduction band, we require the tremendous amount of energy. But the practically it is impossible. So we cannot shift the electron from the valence band to the conduction band, and therefore such type is called as an insulator. So let me revise this once again. In case of conductor, the valence band and the conduction band are overlap with each other, and therefore we can shift the electrons from the valence band to the conduction band easily. Therefore it conduct the electrical conductivity very high. Whereas in case of semiconductor, the valence band electrons cannot be easily shifted toward the conduction band. It requires some amount of energy, but also it conduct the electricity at a high temperature. Okay, in case of insulator, the valence band and the conduction bands are far away from each other, or you can say that band gap or the forbidden band is more, and due to this we cannot shift the electron from valence band to the conduction band, and therefore they do not conduct the electricity. Now let us try to understand types of the semiconductor. There are two types of semiconductor. The first one is the intrinsic semiconductor. These are those semiconductors in which the forbidden gap is small. Only some electrons may jump to the conduction band and show some conductivity. They have very low electrical conductivity, for example silicon and germanium. सो यहाँ पे हम सेमीकंडक्टर देख सकते हो. सो सेमीकंडक्टर में क्या होता है, वैलेंस बैंड एंड कंडक्शन बैंड में स्मॉल एनर्जी गैप रहता है. सो बहुत थोड़े ही इलेक्ट्रॉन वैलेंस बैंड से कंडक्शन बैंड में जंप करते, सब इलेक्ट्रॉन नहीं जाते. सब इलेक्ट्रॉन शिफ्ट करने के लिए एनर्जी लगते हैं, एंड देयरफॉर दिस टाइप ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर इज कॉल्ड एज ए इंट्रिंसिक सेमीकंडक्टर, and it show very low conductivity because only few valence electron will go to the conduction band. So such type of semiconductors are called intrinsic semiconductor. Second one, extrinsic semiconductor. These are prepared by adding appropriate impurity to an intrinsic semiconductor. Their electrical conductivity is high. जैसे कि हमने कहा अभी, इंट्रिंसिक सेमीकंडक्टर में क्या होता है, वेरी फ्यू, बहुत ही कम इलेक्ट्रॉन वैलेंस बैंड से कंडक्शन बैंड में शिफ्ट होते हैं और कंडक्टिविटी बहुत ही कम दिखाती है बिकॉज ऑफ दिस नैरो गैप. बट इफ़ यू प्लेस एन इम्प्यूरिटी इन दैट, द कंडक्टिविटी ऑफ intrinsic semiconductor will get increase by adding an impurity, and such type of semiconductors are called extrinsic semiconductor. And The last one, that is doping. Doping is nothing but the process of adding an appropriate amount of suitable impurity to increase the conductivity of intrinsic semiconductor is called doping. So जो भी हम impurity ऐड कर रहे हैं इंट्रिंसिक सेमीकंडक्टर में इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिविटी बढ़ाने के लिए, उसको हम क्या कहते हैं? डोपिंग. दैट इज एडिशन ऑफ appropriate amount of suitable impurity is called doping, and that impurity sample is called dopant.